The story begins inside the grand main hall of the Lin family, where our main character lies unconscious on the cold floor. A few people standing nearby notice him and shout in panic. "Hey! Throw some cold water on him, quick!" As soon as the water hits his face, he jolts awake and yells, "Damn it! I'm gonna be late for the office." Hearing this, his father's anger reaches the next level. In a thunderous voice, he roars, "You useless brat! Will you admit your mistake or not?" But the poor main character looks completely confused. He stares at everyone and asks, "Huh? Who are you people? And where the heck am I?" The moment those words leave his mouth, another furious man standing nearby gets triggered. This bastard is pretending now? Enough talk. I'll end him in one strike. He immediately draws his sword and charges forward, shouting, "Look at my blade. Let's see where you run." Seeing this, our hero is absolutely terrified. Whoa, hey. This just got serious. But right at that moment, his father steps in and stops the attack. The angry man looks shocked. "Patriarch Lin, what is the meaning of this?" Patriarch Lin quickly tries to calm him down. "Master Su, please wait. Lower your sword." Meanwhile, our hero hurriedly hides behind his father and blurts out, "Hey old man, I'm telling you, killing someone is illegal. The police will arrest you." Hearing himself being called old man, Patriarch Su's face turns red with rage. Old man? He called me an old man? Patriarch Lin awkwardly tries to handle the situation. "Look, the fault is indeed on our family's side. Let me interrogate him once. After that, this useless son is yours to deal with however you like." But Patriarch Su isn't satisfied and shouts again, "You filthy brat. Today you're dead for sure." Patriarch Lin quickly adds, "Master Su, calm down please. At least hear him out first." After a moment, Patriarch Su finally snorts, "Fine. Let's see what kind of drama you people are putting on." Our hero, still clueless, asks again, "Wait, what Lin family? What Su family? I seriously don't understand anything." Patriarch Su sneers, "Look at him, pretending to have memory loss. What's the point of questioning him? Just kill this Lin Bei already." Hearing this, the hero hurriedly tries to defend himself. "Brother, you've caught the wrong guy. I didn't do anything, seriously." But suddenly, a sharp pain explodes inside his head. Damn, my head is splitting." At that moment, unfamiliar memories begin flooding into his mind. He sees flashes of the past. The day Lin Bei was born, Patriarch Lin smiling with joy. Then scenes of childhood training. "Stand properly. Keep your back straight." More memories follow, Lin Bei growing older, becoming lazy and spoiled. Patriarch Lin scolding him. "You just roam around all day. No discipline, no future." And Lin Bei laughing carelessly. Hee hee. Coming back to his senses, the hero mutters in shock. "Wait, did I transmigrate?" He realizes the memories in his head belong to the original owner of this body. Then a blurry scene from last night appears in his mind. Hold on, is this from yesterday? He remembers a handsome guy named Yifan, a beautiful girl, and himself. A spoiled rich young master. Why does all of this feel so familiar? He recalls hearing, "Calm down, baby, relax." The girl was angry, not in her right mind, and something terrible seemed to have happened after that. As the truth slowly sinks in, he grows pale. "Oh no, don't tell me I really did something horrible." Seeing the strange expression on his face, Patriarch Lin yells angrily, "Hey, why are you smiling remembering all this?" At the same time, Patriarch Su completely loses it. "You bastard, die." He swings his sword again, but Patriarch Lin blocks him with bare hands. Our hero stares in disbelief. Damn. He caught a sword with his bare hands? Looking around, everything suddenly feels familiar. This plot, this setting, don't tell me. Realization hits him like lightning. I'm the villain, aren't I? He remembers countless novels he had read, a cannon fodder villain who harasses the protagonist's woman, and then gets crushed under the protagonist's feet. His face turns pale with fear. Think, brain, think. If this continues, that old man in front of me will chop me into 2 pieces for sure. On the other side, Patriarch Su shouts angrily at Patriarch Lin. "Old scoundrel, let me go!" And just then, something unbelievable happens. Lin Bei's body suddenly begins to glow. A blue screen appears before his eyes. Warning, host's life is in danger. Family air spending system successfully loaded. Seeing the blue screen appear before his eyes, a spark of hope rises on Lin Bei's face. Don't tell me, is this the legendary system every transmigrator gets? Have my cheats finally been activated? At that moment, the system interface changes. Host detected in life-threatening danger. Emergency plan activated. Distributing newbie gift pack. Lin Bei immediately taps the screen. The system announces, "Congratulations, host! You have received 200 million spirit stones. All have been deposited into the system inventory." The system continues, "Please resolve the Child of Destiny crisis. Earn destiny points to unlock further rewards." Then his mission appears. Mission objective: resolve the revenge crisis of the Su family patriarch and force the opposing party to retreat. Reward: 5 volumes of heaven-rank sword Dao cultivation methods. A recording stone containing evidence that the original body was framed. But the moment Lin Bei reads the failure penalty, his soul nearly leaves his body. Failure penalty: death at the hands of the Su family patriarch. Damn it! Lin Bei curses in his mind. Failing means death? Even if you give me mountains of spirit stones, what's the use if I won't be alive to spend them? Meanwhile, Patriarch Su's anger hasn't cooled at all. He glares at Patriarch Lin and threatens. "Old man Lin, get out of my way! Otherwise, the Su family and the Lin family will fight until one side is wiped out." Hearing this, Patriarch Lin becomes anxious and turns to Lin Bei. "You useless brat! Hurry up and apologize to Patriarch Su." But this time, Lin Bei steps forward with a hint of confidence. "Patriarch Su, I admit I did wrong to Miss Su. But I still believe this situation can be resolved." Patriarch Su laughs mockingly. "Resolve it? Very good, very good. Boy, you better have a way to save yourself, or I'll make your death extremely painful." Lin Bei calmly replies, "It's simple. I'll buy my life with spirit stones." The entire hall falls silent. Then Patriarch Su bursts into loud laughter. "Buy your life? Lin family, aren't you getting a bit too arrogant?" Without hesitation, Lin Bei says, 1 million spirit stones. Everyone present is instantly stunned. Patriarch Lin panics. "You brat. Has your brain gone grazing in the fields? 1 million is the Lin family's income for 10 whole years." Patriarch Su's expression darkens. "Just 1 million? Can my daughter's dignity be measured with money?" Seeing his rejection, Lin Bei thinks to himself, "Not enough? Looks like I underestimated the price." With a clever smile, he raises his hand again. "Then how about 5 million spirit stones?" For a split second, greed flashes in Patriarch Su's eyes, but he quickly suppresses it. 5 million? The Su family is a family of sword cultivators. Pride and honor flow in our blood," he shouts angrily. "Don't talk about 5 million. Even if you bring out 10 million or 100 million, I will never spare you." He draws his sword and roars, "Riding wind sword." But Lin Bei remains calm. "If 5 million isn't enough, then what about 100 million? The moment those words leave his mouth, a rain of dazzling spirit stones suddenly pours into the hall. Patriarch Su's eyes widen in shock. What is this?" The overwhelming aura of countless spirit stones makes him stagger and fall to the ground. "Are these really 100 million spirit stones?" Even Patriarch Lin is dumbfounded. "In my entire life, I've never seen so many spirit stones at once." The elders nearby shout in disbelief. "Impossible! Where did this boy get so many spirit stones?" Patriarch Su, still sitting on the floor, asks in a trembling voice. "You mean, all these spirit stones are for the Su family?" Lin Bei smiles leisurely. "Correct." Then he adds deliberately, "But since Patriarch Su is a man of iron principles and pride, this might feel a little cheap, right?" Inside, Lin Bei sighs in relief. 100 million is still just 100 million. As long as I'm alive and have the system, I can get endless spirit stones. He pretends to gather the stones back. "Well, if that's the case, I'll take them back." Suddenly, Patriarch Su grabs his hand. "Wait. Hold on a minute." The moment he holds Lin Bei's hand, a fierce mental battle begins inside Patriarch Su's mind. "Calm down, Su sick hen, keep it together. This bastard ruined your daughter's honor." But his eyes drift toward the mountain of spirit stones. But that's a full 100 million spirit stones. With this, the Su family could rise to unimaginable heights. Then he remembers his daughter again. Can 100 million spirit stones compare to even a single hair of my daughter? Yet his greed grows stronger. "But he's really offering too much," he finally speaks with a diplomatic tone. "I already said, even if you offered 100 million, I wouldn't spare you." But then he changes his words. "However, the Su family and Lin family have been friends for generations. We cannot destroy this relationship so easily." He continues, "Taking a life over this might indeed be excessive. I'm not doing this for spirit stones." Then he collects all the spirit stones and announces his decision. "This seat will take my daughter home to rest today. Kid Lin, logically and emotionally, you owe my daughter an explanation. I give you 3 days to come to our door and apologize." As he walks away, he secretly thinks with guilt. "Sorry, daughter. for the future of the Su family, I can only let you suffer this grievance. The moment he leaves, the system flashes again in front of Lin Bei. Congratulations, host! Mission completed. Rewards received, 5 volumes of heaven-rank sword Dao cultivation methods. Recording stone with evidence of framing. All deposited in system inventory. Lin Bei lets out a long breath. Finally, my tiny life is saved. He grins. Oh? The mission is done. Let me see what's next. The system immediately announces. New mission published. Mission objective. Find the family traitor and unite the family's power. Completion reward. 200 million spirit stones. Failure penalty. Be annihilated overnight by the child of destiny. Just then, Patriarch Lin walks up to Lin Bei and asks in shock. Hey you filthy brat. Where did you get so many spirit stones from? And tell me honestly, are you really giving all of them to the Su family? Didn't you even save a little for your own father? On the other side, the great elder stands there burning with jealousy and anger. Damn it, he actually endured all this. Is Su Shimao really a turtle? He narrows his eyes suspiciously. But the source of these spirit stones is definitely problematic. Let's see how this old man exposes him. Suddenly, he shouts loudly. Lin Bei, you're pushing the entire Lin family toward destruction. Patriarch Lin looks confused. Great Elder, what do you mean by that? The Great Elder sneers and explains. 100 million spirit stones! Even if we sold the entire Fengqi city, we couldn't gather that much money. I'm afraid you must have stolen these spirit stones from some powerful existence. And because of you, the Lin family is now facing total annihilation. But Lin Bei doesn't panic at all. Instead, he fires back calmly. Old man, then tell me, within 100 miles of Fengqi city, which so-called powerful figure could casually take out 100 million spirit stones? The Great Elder gets irritated. Who knows where you stole them from? Anyway, the Lin family doesn't have that kind of wealth. The source of your spirit stones is absolutely suspicious. Lin Bei smiles slightly. Great Elder's words are quite interesting. But what if I say that these 100 million spirit stones were given to me by that very powerful figure you mentioned? The Great Elder scoffs. It's fine to fool outsiders, Lin Bei. But don't fool yourself. Everyone in the Lin family knows your character. Who would show such kindness to someone like you? Lin Bei immediately counters with logic. So according to the Great Elder, I, Lin Bei, a useless playboy, have the ability to steal spirit stones from a top cultivation expert without them even noticing? Does that sound reasonable? The Great Elder is instantly speechless. That. Patriarch Lin also nods. Exactly. A mighty cultivator's detection abilities are terrifying. How could Lin Bei possibly steal from such a person? Isn't this nonsense? Lin Bei quickly agrees. Right. Absolutely right. Seeing the situation turning against him, the Great Elder changes his tone. I was only thinking about the welfare of the Lin family. Since your spirit stones aren't stolen, I naturally have no objection. But deep inside, he wonders nervously. Has some almighty being really taken a liking to this Lin Bei? At that moment, Lin Bei suddenly switches the atmosphere. Great Elder, you asked your questions. Now it's my turn. He stares at him sharply. I have no old grudge with you. Then why were you so aggressive toward me today? The Great Elder immediately defends himself. As an elder of the Lin family, everything I do is for the family's benefit. My heart is completely clean. But inside he starts sweating. Good thing I was cautious last night. Only Lin Bei and I were there. As long as I don't confess, what can he do to me? Lin Bei laughs sarcastically. You keep shouting family benefit. Then why did you try to frame me and drag the Lin family into danger? He then turns toward everyone present and declares confidently. Giving 100 million spirit stones to the Su family was my way of apologizing to Miss Su, but that doesn't mean anyone can frame me and walk away. Inside his heart he prays. System, give me some power. Everything depends on how reliable the evidence you gave me is. Then he raises a glowing recording stone. The real culprit of last night is someone else. Here is the proof. Everyone please watch. The recording begins. Inside the projection, Lin Bei asks the Great Elder. Great Elder, do you think Miss Su will like the sword Dao cultivation method I bought for her? The Great Elder smiles. That girl, Su Muji, is obsessed with sword Dao. She will definitely like it. Then he adds, if you're worried, take this sachet as well. This is called the Heavenly Fragrance Orchid. Its scent is fresh and elegant. He continues, I've already investigated. Miss Su loves the fragrance of orchids the most. If you give her this sachet, her favor toward you will increase. Lin Bei in the recording replies happily. That's great. Thank you so much, Great Elder. The recording ends. Lin Bei holds up the sachet. This is the same sachet shown in the recording. Later I found out, It was mixed with soul-hooking grass. Continuous exposure confuses the mind and makes a person lose control. Hearing this, Patriarch Lin bursts into laughter. I knew it. My useless son may be naughty, but he would never fall this low. The other elders also gasp. Did we misunderstand Lin Bei all along? The great elder's face turns pale, sweat dripping from his forehead. When did this kid record all this? How do I escape now? No. I have to get out of here. Seeing him try to move, Patriarch Lin roars. Great elder! Where do you think you're going? He attacks instantly. Don't even think about running. You dared to frame my son? Patriarch Lin beats him mercilessly. Today I'll kill you myself. After thoroughly beating him, Patriarch Lin announces to everyone. The great elder framed a member of his own family. As the patriarch of the Lin family, I hereby remove him from his position and order him to be thrown into the dungeon. At the same moment, the system notification rings in Lin Bei's mind. Congratulations, host! Mission completed. Reward 200 million spirit stones deposited into inventory. New mission will be released later. Host may roam freely for now. Before being dragged away, the great elder sighs in defeat. Lin Bei, your methods are impressive. I admit my loss. But if you had evidence, why didn't you reveal it earlier? Lin Bei replies smartly. If I had taken out the recording stone from the start, Patriarch Su would have thought I was making excuses and hated me even more. After all, the incident had already happened, right? Hearing this, the great elder's mind explodes. No, this isn't right. He trembles in fear. If he knew everything from the beginning, then why did he still wear that sachet? Don't tell me, he deliberately played this game to win the Su family's trust. What a terrifying conspiracy. And with that, the family guards dragged the screaming great elder toward the dungeon. The great elder had already received his punishment, but the other elders present weren't satisfied yet. They turned toward Lin Bei and said seriously, Fine, the great elder has been dealt with. But now it's your turn, Lin Bei. You must clearly explain everything about those spirit stones. One of them added with a heavy tone. You handed over a full 100 million spirit stones to an outsider just like that. Now the Su family of Fengqi City will become the most dominant power. Lin Bei, you are still too young. You acted without thinking at all. Hearing their scolding, Lin Bei didn't panic in the slightest. Instead, he casually took out even more spirit stones and said, Oh? Who told you I only had 100 million? Seeing more dazzling stones appear, Patriarch Lin's face lit up with joy. Excellent! My son, I knew you weren't that foolish. An elder asked in disbelief. Are there really more? Lin Bei, could it be that you truly know some great powerhouse? Lin Bei took a deep breath and replied mysteriously. I can't say. I really can't reveal anything. Hearing this, all the elders began thinking to themselves. Usually, those mighty experts don't like to show themselves in front of others. Looking at Lin Bei's behavior, there must really be a terrifying cultivator backing him. This is a huge opportunity for the Lin family. Even Patriarch Lin fell into deep thought. Our Lin family is actually just a branch of the central region Lin clan. Don't tell me this useless son met some expert from the main clan? Looking at their serious expressions, Lin Bei felt confused inside. What on earth are these people imagining? He thought to himself. Sure, 100 million spirit stones are a lot, but as long as I keep solving crises, the system will keep giving me more. Compared to these stones, what I need right now is the right to speak inside the Lin family. Then he placed his condition in front of everyone. However, the family can't take these 100 million spirit stones for free. I have one small condition. He looked around and said loudly. From today onward, I want only one voice in the Lin family. Who is with me, and who is against me? Hearing this, Patriarch Lin nearly had a heart attack. Inside his mind he screamed. This unfilial brat actually wants to snatch my patriarch position. I've beaten him so many times in the past. If he becomes patriarch, my life will be finished. Meanwhile, Lin Bei glanced at him and thought. From the great elder incident, it's clear this cheap father doesn't fully control the family. To win outside battles, I must stabilize things at home first. So I need to firmly place him on the patriarch's seat. The elders tried to persuade him. Lin Bei, running a family isn't just about spirit stones. Managing and distributing such wealth is not an easy task. Lin Bei looked confused. Distribute? Why distribute? Then he pointed at them innocently. Weren't these spirit stones meant for all of you elders? The moment those words came out, every elder's eyes went wide. All for us? Lin Bei replied with full swag. Of course. If these were for the Lin family treasury, I would have directly sent them to the warehouse. Why would I take them out here? Hearing this, one elder excitedly rushed forward, grabbed Lin Bei's hand, and said proudly, I knew it from the beginning. This child Lin Bei has real talent. Looking at him now, he truly seems like a child of heaven sent by the heavens. The other elders also got fired up. What are you saying? From now on, call him Patriarch Lin Bei. Anyone who opposes Patriarch Lin Bei will face me first. Seeing this overwhelming support, Lin Bei was completely stunned. If the elders think like this, then of course that's good. But inside his mind he screamed. Wait, what? They made me patriarch? He waved his hands in panic. No, no, no. I don't want to be patriarch. An elder smiled wisely. I understand. For appearance, Patriarch Lin will remain the official head. But the real power will be yours. This method is safer. After that, everyone surrounded Lin Bei with respect, and just like that, he officially became the person in charge of the entire Lin family. Seeing this, his poor father held his head in despair. The Lin family is finished. Lin Bei could only stand there sweating in shock. That night, inside his room, he lay on the bed thinking. Seriously, what did these people misunderstand? How did I end up becoming patriarch? He sighed. Well, since things have already reached this point, I guess I have no choice but to accept this identity as the Lin family's person in charge. Then he suddenly remembered something important. By the way, I still don't even know this system's exact functions. System, introduce all your functions. The screen immediately flashed. This system is designed to create a stable and safe lying flat environment for the host. Provides AFK automatic cultivation. Destiny points gacha. Foresight from Destiny points. Mission publishing and various auxiliary functions. Destiny points can be obtained through missions. Current Destiny points, plus 100. Hearing the word prophecy, Lin Bei jumped up excitedly. Prophecy? Damn! Does that mean I've got the full script in advance? Now I can truly lie flat without any tension. He immediately said. System, quickly match an AFK cultivation method for me. The system responded without delay. Cultivation method matched. Automatic AFK cultivation has begun. Hard work is for others. Host only needs to lie down and relax. Feeling this heavenly comfort, Lin Bei lazily lay back on the bed and smiled. These lying flat days are so simple, and so boring. The next day, the scene shifts to the Su family residence, where the atmosphere is burning with tension. A young man slams his hand on the table in fury and shouts. Father! Why did you allow that bastard Lin Bei to come here? Is he even worthy to step into our house? This was Su Qinshan, the second young master of the Su family. His face was red with rage as he continued. The moment he steps through the main gate tomorrow, I'll chop him into pieces and feed him to the dogs. Seeing his son's uncontrollable anger, Patriarch Su sighed and spoke calmly. And then what? The Su family and the Lin family will fight to the death, and both sides will be destroyed. Those spirit stones were compensation from the Lin family. Their sincerity is already enough. I had no other choice. At that moment, a cold voice echoed from behind. So, father, did you sell your own daughter for spirit stones? Everyone turned in shock. Su Miaoi had arrived. Patriarch Su hurriedly asked. Daughter, when did you get here? She replied sharply. From the moment younger brother told me that perverted Lin Bei was coming to meet us. Su Qinshan tried to stop her. Sister. But Miaoi interrupted him. Qishan, thank you for speaking up for me. I understand father's difficulties. Compared to my personal pride, the future of the Su family is more important. Then her expression turned ice cold as killing intent filled her eyes. But when it comes to forgiving Lin Bei, absolutely not. That filthy man dared to use such tricks on me. Even if I die, I will kill him with my own hands. Her murderous aura made both father and son shiver. At that moment they realized. Lin Bei was already dead in her heart. Miaoi suddenly drew her sword and pressed it against her own throat. If father tries to stop me, then it's better I die right now. Patriarch Su panicked. Daughter, put the sword down. Father won't stop you. I'll let you take revenge. I swear. We will return the Lin family's spirit stones immediately. Hearing this, Miaoi calmed slightly. Really? Absolutely true. Truer than gold itself. The patriarch declared. Then he raised his voice. Pass down my order. Gather supplies and prepare for war with the Lin family. Tomorrow, when Lin Bei arrives, capture him as a hostage. Meanwhile, back at the Lin family, Lin Bei was still sleeping peacefully while the system echoed beside him. Cultivation progress. 0.1%. Suddenly. Warning! Warning! Lin Bei jolted awake. Holy crap! What happened? The system replied. Due to Su Miaoi's interference, the Su family patriarch has decided to continue his revenge against you. Lin Bei's face turned pale. If I can't AFK cultivate, how am I supposed to get stronger while lying down? No! New mission, Quick, tell me the new mission. The system responded coldly. Mission judgment failed. The heaven rank sword Dao cultivation manuals granted as rewards will now be urgently retrieved. AFK cultivation is suspended until the new mission is completed. Lin Bei stared at the mission details in disbelief. Wait. Su Miaoyi and I have to turn from enemies into friends? That woman wants to mince me and feed me to dogs. Mission objective. Eliminate Su Miaoyi's killing intent and resolve hostility. Turn enemies into allies. Reward. 1,500 destiny points. Failure penalty. You will be minced by Su Miaoyi. The scene shifts back to the Su residence. Miaoyi was glaring at the sky when she noticed a bird flying from the direction of the Lin family. That bird came from Lin territory. Kill it! In the next second, the poor bird was struck down. Patriarch Su reassured her. Daughter, don't worry. Just wait for Lin Bei to arrive. When I smash my cup as a signal, 500 sword cultivators will strike at once. Even if Lin Tianxiao himself comes, he won't recognize his son's corpse. Miaoyi looked at him with cold, blood-red eyes. Let me deliver the first strike. Her killing intent was terrifying. At that moment, a servant rushed in. Patriarch! Lin Bei has arrived! Patriarch Su narrowed his eyes. Let him in. As Lin Bei stepped through the gates, he felt the suffocating murderous atmosphere and thought nervously, the system's information was absolutely right. Su Miaoyi really wants to kill me. But if I don't complete the mission, I'll die anyway. Looks like I've got no choice. I'll have to face this head-on. Lin Bei was still lost in thought when suddenly, Su Qinshan charged at him in rage, sword flashing like lightning. Bastard! I'll avenge my sister today. Lin Bei tried to dodge, but the blade was too fast. It sliced through the air and cut a few strands of his hair. He screamed in panic. Hey! My hair, are you crazy? At that moment, the system screen flashed. Warning! Host's life is in danger. Automatic proxy battle mode activated. Lin Bei staggered back and shouted desperately. Brother-in-law! At least spare my hair. But before he could finish, Su Miaoyi also leapt forward, her eyes filled with killing intent. Pervert, go to hell, she attacked without hesitation, yet Lin Bei somehow dodged her strike as well. Seeing her rushing toward him, his soul nearly left his body. He turned toward Patriarch Su and yelled. Hey! Patriarch Su, don't just stand there watching the show, stop them! But Patriarch Su threw the spirit stones to the ground and spoke coldly. Lin Bei, in the end, I am a father. I cannot sell my daughter for fame. I don't need these 100 million spirit stones. But today, your life ends here. Hearing this, Lin Bei's expression changed completely. He clenched his fists and shouted. Fine, then don't blame me for not showing mercy. Secret technique. The system immediately announced. Automatic proxy battle power fully activated. In the next instant, Lin Bei's speed exploded. He moved like a gust of wind, circling the brother and sister so fast that afterimages appeared. Repetitive side hops. Patriarch Su was stunned. What level of footwork is this? Since when did Lin Bei become this agile? After a few moments, Lin Bei stopped and spoke seriously. I came here today to apologize to Su Miaoyi. But none of you even gave me a chance to speak before trying to kill me. Can't you at least listen once? Miaoyi pointed her sword at him and said coldly. You can talk. But you'll only get to say your last words. Lin Bei realized reasoning alone wouldn't work. Taking a deep breath, he said. I really don't want to be minced into meat, so I guess there's only one option left. He immediately took out a recording stone and raised it. Miss Su, you can't kill me yet. There's something you must see. After watching this, if you still want my life, I'll accept my destiny. Miaoyi narrowed her eyes. Fine. Let me see what excuses you've prepared. The recording began to play. Inside the image, Lin Bei was speaking to the Great Elder. Great Elder, do you think Miss Miaoyi will like the sword Dao cultivation method I bought for her? The Great Elder smiled. That girl is obsessed with the sword Dao. She'll definitely love it. And if you're still worried, take this sachet too. The Heavenly Fragrance Orchid. Its scent is fresh and elegant. He continued. I've already investigated. Su Miaoyi loves the fragrance of orchids the most. If you gift this to her, her impression of you will surely improve. Lin Bei in the recording looked delighted. Wonderful! Thank you, Great Elder. Seeing this, Patriarch Su was stunned. Lin Bei looked at them and said, As you can see, I'm also a victim. The one who set this trap wanted to create hatred between the Su and Lin families. He asked calmly, Think carefully. If our two families fight, who benefits the most? Miaoyi immediately replied, The Yi family, one of the three great clans. Lin Bei snapped his fingers. Bingo. Su Qinshan hesitated. Are you saying the Yi family is behind all this? Lin Bei nodded confidently. Last night, The Lin family interrogated the great elder. We found evidence of his collusion with the Yi family. But Miao Yi refused to believe it. Impossible. Brother Yi Fan has always treated me kindly. He would never allow such schemes. Lin Bei sighed. Miss, Yi Fan is Yi Fan. He doesn't represent the entire Yi family. Besides, after the incident in Fingxi City, did he come to see you even once? Miao Yi stammered. That's because Brother Yi Fan heard the rumors and didn't want to cause me trouble. And anyway, this all happened because of you, Lin Bei. Lin Bei thought to himself, according to the original owner's memories, Yi Fan simply didn't want to come at all. But if I say that now, she'll really kill me. So he changed the topic. Whatever happened is in the past. The sword Dao method I prepared that night. Consider it my apology. The moment Miao Yi saw the Heaven Heart sword technique, her eyes widened. This method, it contains real sword intent. Is this a heaven rank cultivation technique? Hearing that, Su Qinshan exploded in anger. Stop joking, you bastard. Just because you bribed my father yesterday with money, you think you can fool my sister the same way today? He charged forward again. My sister doesn't need your filthy gifts. Go to hell. Lin Bei trembled in fear. But suddenly, Miao Yi dashed in between them. Qinshan, stop! She punched him hard and sent him flying aside. Su Qinshan crashed to the ground and groaned in pain. Arg! Meanwhile, Su Miao Yi stared at the cultivation method in her hands, completely stunned. Her eyes sparkled as she asked in disbelief. A heaven rank cultivation method, is this really for me? Lin Bei was baffled by her reaction. It's just a cultivation method, why is she acting like she won the lottery? When I gave 100 million spirit stones, she didn't look this happy at all. But Miao Yi's heart was already in chaos. A heaven rank technique. This is a legacy that even great clans can only dream of. I've trained in martial arts for years. If it meant obtaining something like this, I could die without regrets. Holding such a supreme treasure, she couldn't help but feel dazed. And yet Lin Bei handed it over so casually, like gifting a piece of fruit. She looked at him in confusion. Is Lin Bei really just an ordinary, useless silk pants young master? Seeing his sister lost in thought, Su Qinshan became completely confused and shouted. What the hell is going on? Sister, why did you accept that bastard's gift? Ignoring him, Lin Bei looked at Miao Yi and asked with a bit of confidence. Miss Su, is my apology gift sincere enough? But she remained silent. Lin Bei grew anxious. At least give me some reaction. Don't just freeze like that. Miao Yi slowly opened her mouth. This gift. Before she could finish, Patriarch Su suddenly stepped forward and interrupted. Daughter, I need to talk to you privately. He pulled her aside, leaving Lin Bei and Su Qinshan behind. Qinshan's anger exploded again. He drew his sword and charged at Lin Bei. Lin-named scoundrel! You may fool my father and my sister, but you can't fool me. Taste my blade. But before he could even get close, Patriarch Su knocked him down with a single strike. Ugh. In a quiet corner, Patriarch Su asked seriously. Daughter, the method Lin Bei gave you, how is it? Miao Yi examined it carefully and replied. It truly deserves the heaven rank title. It's far deeper and more powerful than the profound rank riding wind sword I've been practicing. Hearing this, Patriarch Su fell into deep thought. After careful consideration, that boy Lin Bei might be right. There's an 80% chance the Yi family is behind all this. Miao Yi nodded. I feel the same. Instead of taking revenge on Lin Bei, I now want to investigate who is truly trying to harm me. Her father warned her. Forget teaching Lin Bei a lesson. That boy is far more cunning than he appears. If we really provoke him, I fear the entire Su family could be destroyed. Miao Yi took a deep breath. I understand. I've relied on the family's resources all my life for the sword Dao. Now it's my turn to repay that debt. She returned to Lin Bei and spoke coldly. Lin Bei, I'll spare your life today. But for ruining my reputation, I can't forgive you so easily. From now on, don't ever show your face to me again. Lin Bei was dumbfounded. Huh! He panicked internally. She still hates me. But the system condition says I must turn hostility into friendship. Otherwise I'm still dead. Seeing her cold expression, Lin Bei clenched his teeth. Looks like there's only one last method left. He said carefully. Miss Su, you've misunderstood. I'm not trying to force you to forgive me. Miao Yi looked at him in confusion. What do you mean? Lin Bei took a deep breath. I mean, I want you to cut me with your sword, just once. Everyone froze. What? The three of them stared at him with wide eyes. Miao Yi shouted. Lin Bei, are you insane? Are you trying to threaten me with some dirty trick? Lin Bei quickly waved his hands. No. I may not handle things properly, but I'm not a shameless scoundrel. He lowered his head. I just feel that the harm Miss Su suffered can't be repaid by a mere 100 million spirit stones and this cheap cultivation method. Patriarch Su almost fainted. Cheap. He calls that cheap? Rich people really speak nonsense without blinking. Lin Bei continued. So what I mean is, before anyone could react, he snatched Miao's sword and pressed it against his own throat. If Miss Su wants to kill me, then go ahead. No need to show mercy. I, Lin Bei, will not retreat. Outwardly he looked heroic, but inside he was crying. Grandma, this is just an act to trap her emotionally. Please don't actually slash me, please, please, please. Seeing Lin Bei's completely changed attitude, Su Miao fell into deep thought. Is this really the same Lin Bei I used to know? No, do I even know him at all? Sensing that his sister was softening, Su Qinshan panicked and shouted. Sister! Don't tell me you're getting soft on this scoundrel. If you can't do it, let me handle him. He immediately launched his attack, roaring. Riding wind sword! But the moment he reached Lin Bei, Miao stepped in and blocked the strike with a single move. Lin Bei gasped. Huh! Qinshan shouted in disbelief. Sister! What are you doing? She replied coldly. You don't need to interfere. This is my matter. I'll handle it myself. Before anyone could react, she thrust her sword straight into Lin Bei's chest. Lin Bei trembled in agony. Damn it, I'm dead. I'm really dead. This girl is ruthless. I'm supposed to be your future husband, at least follow the script. But in the next moment, Miao pulled out the blade and handed him a pill. Take this. It's a healing pill. It will stop the bleeding. Lin Bei was confused. What? She snapped. Do as I say. Eat it. Without giving him time to think, she shoved the pill into his mouth and declared. Since you didn't do it intentionally after this sword strike, there is no longer any debt between us. Inside, she murmured, Lin Bei, if you had stayed a scoundrel, I would have killed you without hesitation. So why did you suddenly become so noble? Patriarch Su stepped forward to ease the tension. Lin Bei, since my daughter no longer wishes to pursue this matter, let's consider it settled. You may leave. Lin Bei hesitated. She doesn't look like she'll suddenly chop people again, but will she still turn me into minced meat in the future? At that moment, the system alarm rang. Warning, if hostility is not converted into friendship, Su Miao will be incited by Yi Fan in the future and kill the host. Lin Bei panicked. So I'm still doomed? I need to erase this hidden danger completely. He searched through the original owner's memories. Miao has always dreamed of reaching the peak of the sword Dao, but no one around her ever understood that. This might be my entry point. He immediately put on a confident smile. Miss Su, you are truly broad-minded. I, Lin Bei, have become your fan. Why don't we become friends? Then he took out several more cultivation manuals. These are sword Dao methods I've collected over the years. I wish to give them to Miss Su, free of charge. Miao was stunned. More sword Dao techniques? And there's more than one? She asked doubtfully. Brother Yi Fan always gave me jewelry. Lin Bei, don't you think it's improper for a woman to dance with swords and blades? Lin Bei replied firmly. Why would that be wrong? The sword Dao doesn't distinguish between men and women. Before the great Dao, all beings are equal. His words echoed in her heart. She suddenly remembered Yi Fan saying, Why should a woman practice killing arts? Isn't it better to stay home, support your husband, and raise children? Then her father's voice echoed. Daughter, if you swing swords all day, who will marry you? But Lin Bei was different. All beings are equal. Men and women are no different. No one has ever said that to me before. She looked at him with new eyes. Lin Bei is not like other men. A small smile appeared on her lips. All right then, we are friends. Fellow Dao seekers, let's discuss the sword Dao together in the future. System notification. Party popper congratulations, host. Mission complete. Hostility with Su Miao has turned into friendship. Reward, 1,500 destiny points granted. AFK cultivation function restored. Lin Bei let out a long breath. Finally, that was not easy. My tiny life has been saved. But before he could relax. New mission released. Warning, warning. Child of Destiny. Yi Fan has developed killing intent toward the host. Mission, resolve this threat. Reward, 2,000 destiny points. Failure, death by the Child of Destiny. Lin Bei froze. Huh? Yi Fan, the Child of Destiny? Scene shift. Yi Fan stood with a furious expression, roaring. That Lin family bastard dared to touch my woman. I'll destroy the entire Lin family. His eyes turned cold. And as for Su Miao, even if her reputation is ruined, she's still good enough to be my concubine. Yi Fan had already arrived at the zoo residence, but the moment he stepped inside, he saw something that completely stunned him. He narrowed his eyes, looking more carefully, and in the very next second, his expression froze. Standing not far away were Lin Bei and Zhu Miao, talking together. That's Lin Bei? He muttered in disbelief. The scene shifted. Zhu Miao was speaking to Lin Bei with unexpected respect in her tone. Fellow Taoist Lin, I will not let your good intentions go to waste. I will study the sword Tao with all my heart, Lin Bei responded casually, almost lazily. Miss Zhu, you're being too polite. If I have time in the future, I'll definitely visit to exchange some insights on sword arts. Yi Fan watched all of this in silence. Seeing the two of them standing so close together, jealousy burned inside him like poison. He clenched his teeth and cursed in his heart. Damn it! This slut is actually meeting Lin Bei in private. His hand moved to his storage ring as a dark thought formed in his mind. I originally planned to use spirit medicine to cure her cold body constitution, but now, I've changed my mind. His fist tightened as his expression turned cruel. I'll propose marriage to the Zhu family directly. And on the wedding night, I'll torture her slowly. A sinister smile crept onto his face. That cold body is an excellent cauldron constitution after all. Meanwhile, Lin Bei prepared to leave. Yi Fan glared at his retreating figure with murderous hatred and sneered. As for Lin Bei, he's just a trashy silk pants. Once I successfully break through, I'll wipe him and the entire Lin family out in one sweep. The scene changed again. Lin Bei was sitting on his bed, staring at the system screen floating before him. His face was full of frustration. Another death hanging over my head. Hey, system! Do you really want to see me die that badly? A reply immediately appeared on the screen. System missions are issued based on foresight of future crises. The system has absolutely no intention of harming the host. Lin Bei let out a deep breath and reluctantly accepted the situation. Fair enough. If it weren't for you, that old geezer Zhu would have chopped me in half already. Forget it. Improving my strength is the hard truth. His eyes suddenly lit up with excitement. System. I want to do a lottery draw. A lottery window instantly appeared. One draw requires 100 destiny points. Please select draw method, X1 or X10. Without hesitation, Lin Bei chose X10 and said confidently, Do you even need to ask? Only 10 pulls produce miracles. Light flashed across the screen as he clasped his hands together like he was praying. Please don't hit pity, don't hit pity. But the next moment, his destiny points dropped from 1500 to 500, and the results appeared. Lin Bei's face turned pale. And oh! He almost cried, then forced a smile to comfort himself. At least it's not 9 blues, right? That doesn't count as pity, right? The system displayed the rewards, 3 times, 100 million spirit stones. 3 bottles, super spirit gathering pills. 1 ton, ice jade marrow. 2 sword Tao epiphany pills. 1 legendary nirvana sutra. All items have been placed in system inventory. Then another message popped up. Remaining points insufficient for a 10 pull. Would you like to perform a single draw? Lin Bei immediately puffed out his chest and declared proudly. Single pulls? Impossible. Only 10 pulls create miracles. Even dogs don't do single pulls. A few seconds of silence passed. His eyes stayed glued to the screen. Finally, he coughed awkwardly. Forget what I said, just draw it. The points dropped from 500 to 400. Congratulations. You obtained 100 million spirit stones. Lin Bei exploded in anger. Damn it! But after glancing at the items he had already received, especially the glowing ancient sutra, he calmed down a bit. Well, at least the pity reward isn't that bad. Holding the pill bottles in both hands, his excitement returned. These are pills that can improve strength unconditionally, from cultivation to combat power. A one-stop service! The system displayed details. Super spirit gathering pill. After consumption, increases cultivation base without any side effects. Effective only for profound scholar level. Sword Tao epiphany pill. Grants 1 sword Tao epiphany, improving the user's understanding of the sword Tao. Lin Bei grinned. Effective only for profound scholars? This is practically custom-made for me. He recalled the cultivation system of this world. Profound scholar, profound practitioner, profound master, profound spirit, profound king, profound emperor, profound venerable, profound saint, profound sovereign, profound god. Each realm divided into 9 stages. He sighed bitterly. This original body was really a useless lump of mud that couldn't stick to a wall. With the entire family backing him, he was still just a lowly profound scholar. Gritting his teeth, he swallowed all the pills at once. If talent isn't enough, I'll make up for it with pills. With this many, there's no way I won't break through. The moment the pills entered his body, a violent surge of energy erupted inside him. The bottle slipped from his hand and shattered on the floor. Lin Bei trembled as power flooded through his veins. I can feel it, this power. Sword Dao Insights. Breakthrough. His aura exploded. He stretched his hand forward and shouted. Sword, come. From somewhere far away, a sword shot through the air toward him. A furious voice echoed in the distance. Who stole my sword? Lin Bei caught the flying blade perfectly midair. The moment his fingers wrapped around the hilt, his entire presence changed. He swung the sword lightly and whispered with shining eyes. This is the Sword Dao. Lin Bei gathered all his strength and swung the sword with full force. Ha! A fierce slash shot forward, tearing through the air as if it intended to cut the world itself in half. The impact was so violent that the roof of his house was blasted away. Amid the flying debris, his father was sent spinning into the sky, wailing in terror. Holy crap! I don't want this sword anymore. After testing his new power, Lin Bei stood proudly and declared with overflowing confidence. Below the profound practitioner realm, I am invincible. Against the profound master, I can at least trade 1 for 1. A victorious grin spread across his face. Sword Heart, achieved. Just then, his father's furious voice echoed from afar. You rebellious son! Destroying the house in the middle of the night? Hurry up and return the elder's sword. Lin Bei ignored him and casually tossed the sword back. Whatever. I've already advanced to the profound practitioner realm. He comforted himself. With my current sword Dao attainment, teaching Zhu Miaoyi won't be any pressure at all. His gaze then shifted to the next item, the blue jade. Item name, Ice Jade Marrow. Description, an extreme cold treasure capable of stimulating innate cold energy. Lin Bei stared at it in confusion. But what is this actually used for? Ice cubes for tea or something? Unable to figure it out, he shrugged. I don't know its use yet, so I'll just keep it for now. Maybe it'll sell for a good price. Then he took out the final reward, the mysterious book. There's still one cultivation method left. Let's see. The moment he read the title, he stuttered. This is... Resurrection? The system displayed the details. Item name, Nirvana Sutra. The Nirvana chapter of the Primordial Immortal Sutra, recording the primordial Nirvana technique. Can be cultivated alongside other methods. If the practitioner suffers a fatal injury and possesses sufficient spiritual energy, they can be reborn through Nirvana. Lin Bei's eyes widened in shock. In other words, if I learned a skill, I'll have a built-in resurrection passive? His excitement skyrocketed. As long as my mana bar is full, I can resurrect. This skill is simply perfect for me. He laughed to himself. This single method alone makes the 10 pull completely worth it. Checking the screen, he saw Destiny Points balance, 400. Greed instantly awakened inside him. I can still draw 4 more times. But he immediately slapped his own face mentally. No! I need self-control. Single pulls never yield anything good. Then he suddenly remembered something. System, you said Destiny Points could do something else before, right? The system responded. Host may consume Destiny Points to make prophecies. Consumption depends on the target's luck and the impact of the foretold event. Considering current missions, it is recommended to make a prophecy regarding Zhu Miaoyi. Lin Bei's eyes lit up. That's right. I almost forgot. Quick, give me intel. The moment he confirmed, his Destiny Points dropped from 400 to 0. The prophecy began. Visions flooded into his mind. After processing the information, Lin Bei finally understood everything. So that's how it is. Zhu Miaoyi possesses an innate cold physique, but due to a difficult birth, her constitution is flawed. The future unfolded before him. At age 22, her cold energy will erupt, leading to death. The prophecy continued. According to normal development, tomorrow Yifan will bring a spirit medicine capable of suppressing the cold energy, and use it to propose marriage to the Zhu family. Lin Bei's expression turned grim. Once Yifan succeeds and the two families become allies through marriage, it won't take long before he wipes out the Lin family. He clenched his fist. Then I must make Yifan's proposal fail, no matter what. Suddenly, an idea struck him. He pulled out the blue jade. System, this Ice Jade Marrow says it can stimulate innate cold energy. Does that mean it can repair Zhu Miaoyi's congenital deficiency? Absolutely, host. A wicked smile slowly appeared on Lin Bei's face. A faint red aura spread around him. As long as I'm here, Yifan, don't even dream about succeeding. The next day at the Zhu residence, Zhu Miaoyi was practicing swordsmanship in the courtyard. Patriarch Zhu watched proudly, unable to stop smiling. As expected of my daughter. In just one night, you've mastered the basics of a heaven-rank sword Dao method. At that moment, Lin Bei arrived, clapping his hands. Miss Zhu's sword Dao talent is truly astonishing. He glanced at the sword marks on the ground. This strike already carries a hint of sword intent. Zhu Miao lowered her sword, slightly embarrassed. If not for your heaven rank cultivation method, how could I have even touched the threshold of sword intent? Fellow Taoist Lin, please, have a seat. As Lin Bei sat at the table and watched her serve tea, cold sweat formed on his back. Before taking the sword epiphany pill, I couldn't even comprehend heaven rank methods, yet she mastered the basics in one night. He swallowed nervously. Truly worthy of being the woman beside the child of destiny. Luckily, I didn't make her my enemy. Taking the teacup, he finally spoke. Sorry to intrude, but I came today for 2 matters. He went straight to the point. Miss Zhu, you're quite familiar with Yifan, right? After a pause, he continued. I was wondering, could you help introduce us? The moment Yifan's name was mentioned, Zhu Miao hesitated. Brother Yifan. Lin Bei nodded with a confident smile, though inside, his true plan was already in motion. To stop Yifan from marrying Zhu Miao, the most important step is to destroy Yifan's good image in her heart. But Zhu Miao shook her head uneasily. I'm afraid that won't be possible. Brother Yifan's impression of you is truly terrible. I worry he might attack you again. As she spoke, she suddenly froze. She stared at Lin Bei in shock. You're clearly standing right in front of me, yet I can't sense your presence at all. I can't even detect your cultivation base. Her eyes widened. Could it be, you've completely comprehended sword intent and realized the clear sword heart? Su Miaoji fell into deep thought. Brother Yifan claims to be a genius, yet he has only achieved minor success in sword intent. Compared to Lin Bei, he only has an advantage in cultivation base. In terms of sword Dao realm, he isn't even worth mentioning. At that moment Lin Bei spoke calmly. It seems Yifan had many misunderstandings about me before. Actually, I just wanted to discuss the sword Dao with the two of you. Su Miaoji nodded gently. Being able to encounter the clear sword heart in advance would also be very helpful for Brother Yifan's breakthrough. I will send someone to inform him. I believe he won't refuse. Lin Bei, however, thought to himself. According to the original body's memory, Yifan isn't a generous person. Su Miaoji may not see it now, but only by letting her witness his true colors can the marriage proposal issue be solved at the root. After a brief hesitation, Lin Bei continued. There is another matter, regarding what happened that night. The moment those words were spoken, memories of that night surfaced in both their minds. Lin Bei glanced at Su Miaoji, and saw her cheeks instantly turn red. She looked flustered as she replied softly. That matter, isn't it already in the past? Lin Bei didn't push further. Instead, he took out a small box and said, The medicinal effect of the sachet the Great Elder used to plot against us still has residues in your body. If not cleared, it will affect your future cultivation. This antidote can purify the toxins, but it requires someone to guide it from the side, allowing spiritual energy to circulate along a special route in the meridians. He opened the box, revealing a pill inside. An antidote pill? Su Miaoji asked in surprise. Lin Bei smiled inwardly. Luckily, I purposely saved a super spirit gathering pill. The residual poison is just an excuse to farm favorability. Everything is for the sake of survival. Su Miaoji accepted the pill and looked at him with a gentle gaze. Fellow Taoist Lin is indeed a true gentleman. Pretending to be a silk pants young master before to approach us. I'm afraid you also had unspeakable difficulties, didn't you? She then stood up. Since we need to take the pill to detoxify, let's go to the training room. And so, Su Miaoji led Lin Bei toward the inner chamber. From afar, Patriarch Su watched them leave and sighed with a smile. Young people, truly full of vitality. Just then, a servant came running in panic. Patriarch Su. Yi family's Yifan. Without waiting for an answer, he headed straight for the training room, raising his leg to kick the door. Lin Bei! Get the hell out here! But before his foot could land, Patriarch Su stepped in and blocked the kick with his sword. Stop! I don't care what conflict you have with Lin Bei. He is currently detoxifying my daughter. You absolutely cannot go in and disturb them. Yifan roared in disbelief. Detoxifying? What kind of poison requires a man and a woman to be alone in a room? At that very moment, a voice drifted out from inside. Su Miaoji's voice. I can feel it. My cultivation base is rising. MH. Hearing this, Yifan froze. Even Patriarch Su looked uneasy. Unable to hold back any longer, Yifan drew his sword halfway. Damn it! Lin Bei, come out here! Patriarch Su tried to restrain him, but the atmosphere was already on the verge of explosion. Inside the training room, Lin Bei was carefully guiding spiritual energy through Su Miaoji's meridians. She bit her lip and said, Ugh! Lin Bei, get out quickly! Lin Bei shook his head firmly. No. I can't just leave you alone like this. He thought seriously. Is this the out-of-control congenital cold physique? I don't believe the sword chi of the clear sword heart can't suppress you. Gathering his energy, He tapped her acupoint with his finger. Bear with it a little. I'll use sword chi to seal the cold energy. But the energies inside Su Miaoji suddenly clashed. She let out a pained sound. Why you? Stop quickly! Outside, terrifying cold energy began leaking from the training room door. Yifan saw it clearly, and hearing the voices from inside, his jealousy and rage burned even hotter. Patriarch Su shouted anxiously. The cold energy is out of control. Lin Bei, quickly protect my daughter's heart meridians! Yifan could no longer endure it. Let me break the door! With a furious slash of his sword, the door exploded into pieces. Both Yifan and Patriarch Su rushed inside. Seeing them barge in, Lin Bei looked back in shock. What are you guys doing? At that moment, Patriarch Su stepped forward, pushing Lin Bei aside as he hurried to check on his daughter. Daughter! You're alright? He asked anxiously. Su Miaoji nodded in response, assuring him she was fine. But Yifan's expression darkened with fury. He roared, Dare to touch my woman! And lunged straight at Lin Bei, slashing at him with his sword. Lin Bei barely managed to block the strike with his own blade, though the force behind it made him struggle. Seeing this, Su Miaoji cried out, Yifan, what are you doing? Blinded by rage, Yifan activated his cultivation technique. A crimson energy flickered in his eyes, and in the next instant, he shattered Lin Bei's sword into 2 pieces. Holding the broken blade in his hand, Lin Bei said in disbelief, Yifan, I have no grievances or enmity with you. Why do you want to kill me? But Yifan didn't listen. He attacked again, shouting, I'll chop off your head first. Lin Bei clenched his teeth. You forced me to do this, he yelled, though inwardly he thought, as expected of the child of destiny. In a direct clash, I'm still no match for him. Luckily, Su Miaoji is here. Just then, Su Miaoji rushed in front of Lin Bei, blocking Yifan's path. Stop! Halt right there! Yifan, apologize to Lin Bei immediately. Yifan stared at her in disbelief. Me? Apologize to this trash? Miaoji, you must be joking. He was taking liberties with you just now. Her voice turned cold. Lin Bei was detoxifying me. My cold physique lost control, and he used sword chi to suppress it so I could survive. Yifan sneered. That sounds nice, but who knows what the two of you were really doing in that room? His words angered Su Miaoji. Meanwhile, Lin Bei wiped the sweat from his forehead and thought, I didn't expect that. By sheer luck, Su Miaoji would see through Yifan's true colors. Not bad at all. Yifan raised his sword again. I'm teaching him a lesson entirely for your own good. Besides, he ruined your innocence that night. Have you forgotten? Her gaze sharpened. Since you brought up that night, let me ask you something. Did you know about the collusion between the Lin family's great elder and your Yi family? Yifan hesitated. I didn't know. But inside he thought, if I had known it would drag Su Miaoji into this, I would have stopped it no matter what. Su Miaoji looked at him with disappointment. Yifan, you've truly let me down. Stop saying I'm your woman. From now on, we have nothing to do with each other. Her words struck him like lightning. His eyes turned vicious. You're actually breaking with me over that trash? Don't forget, I'm the only man who truly treats you well. Just then, Lin Bei walked past him and coughed lightly. Yifan, if you really treated her well, why weren't you there when she needed you the most? Why show up only now? Yifan glared at him. Humph. What would an outsider like you know about my relationship with Miaoji? Inside, he see that Lin Bei dares to compete with me? I must secure Su Miaoji as soon as possible. Turning to Patriarch Su, he said confidently. Uncle Su, to be honest, Miaoji and I have long shared feelings for each other. I came today to formally propose marriage. He took out a spiritual card and presented it. This is my betrothal gift, 100,000 spirit stones. I hope Uncle Su will agree to let me marry Miaoji as soon as possible. Hearing this, Patriarch Su fell silent. The entire hall grew still. Then, suddenly, Lin Bei burst into laughter. Yifan shot him an angry glare. What are you laughing at? Never seen so many spirit stones before? Lin Bei tried to suppress his amusement and replied, Nothing. I just thought of something interesting. Yifan turned toward Lin Bei with a cold snort. Humph. These 100,000 spirit stones are equivalent to an entire year's income for the Lin family. Even if you keep staring, you can only look on in envy. Uncle Su, do you really think this is too little? Miaoji has already lost her innocence. I'm already taking a huge loss by agreeing to marry her. Even a piece of trash like Lin Bei managed to touch her. Offering 100,000 spirit stones is already giving the Su family plenty of face. Uncle Su, you'd better think this through carefully. Patriarch Su was stunned. What a fine Yi family, he thought bitterly. They plotted to harm my daughter, and now they're kicking us while we're down. 100,000 spirit stones? He sneered inwardly. That's worth nothing. Just then, a spirit stone card slipped out of Patriarch Su's pocket and fell to the ground. Yi Fan's eyes snapped toward it, his expression changing instantly. Whose card is that? Before he could react further, Patriarch Su calmly bent down, picked it up, and tucked it away. Oops, he said lightly. How careless of me. I almost lost the spirit stone card Lin Bei gave me. Yi Fan stared at Lin Bei in disbelief. What? He's just a prodigal son. Where would he get a spirit stone card? Uncle Su, don't be fooled. That card is probably empty, right? The moment his words fell, a spirit stone suddenly dropped at Lin Bei's feet. Then another. And another. Lin Bei casually pulled out his own spirit stone card. With a faint smile, he flicked his wrist, and a stream of spirit stones poured out, piling up behind him like a small mountain. With a relaxed, mocking tone, Lin Bei said, Brother Yi Fan seems to have quite a few opinions about me. Unfortunately, the spirit stones in my card are far more than your measly little offering. Yi Fan froze. His eyes widened, his mouth hanging open. How is this possible? How could you have so many spirit stones? Miaoji, this guy definitely has ulterior motives. It's not like you don't know what he's done before. No matter what he says, don't agree to anything yet. Putting on a wounded expression, Yi Fan turned towards Su Miaoji. But she was already fed up. Enough, she shouted. Then she looked straight at Yi Fan. Yi Fan, stop making trouble out of nothing. Lin Bei isn't as unbearable as you claim. He only sought me out to discuss the sword Dao. Yi Fan scoffed, pointing straight at Lin Bei. Humph. A piece of trash hiding behind a woman thinks he's worthy of discussing the sword Dao with me? Lin Bei sighed softly. Brother Yi Fan still has too much prejudice against me. As for the sword Dao, I actually know a thing or two. The next instant, Lin Bei slashed forward. A sharp sword intent burst out, but the attack skimmed past Yi Fan's side, missing him by a hair. Yi Fan was completely stunned. His jaw dropped. Su Miaoji's pupils shrank. This isn't just clear sword heart. This is the unity of heaven and man. It's countless times harder to achieve than clear sword heart. Those who master it can use one part of their own spiritual power to mobilize 10 times the power of heaven and earth, killing enemies above their level. Since when did Lin Bei become this strong? Lin Bei stood calmly, broken sword in hand, radiating confidence like a true Sigma male. Unity of heaven and man? He thought. It must be the effect of the heaven rank cultivation method given by the system. He chuckled inwardly. This face slapping really does feel amazing. On the other side, Yi Fan's expression darkened with rage. I didn't expect Lin Bei to reach clear sword heart, and even master the unity of heaven and man. He's an entire stage above me in sword Dao. Still, his cultivation base is weaker than mine. If I really wanted to kill him, it wouldn't be difficult. He sneered aloud. What's the point of having strong sword Dao? With your realm, you're not even fit to carry my shoes. Before Lin Bei could respond, Su Miaoji stepped forward. Lin Bei's swordsmanship is above mine. If he isn't qualified, then I'm even less qualified to become the wife of the so-called great genius Yi Fan. I'll pretend the marriage proposal never happened. Take back your spirit stone card. Yi Fan stood there, completely stunned. Meanwhile, Lin Bei was laughing inside. Steady. The mission to obstruct Yi Fan's marriage proposal is almost complete. Just as Su Miaoji turned to leave, Yi Fan suddenly shouted. Stop. He raised his hand, and a glowing storage ring appeared. Su Miaoji, whether you marry or not, is probably not up to you anymore. After that, Yi Fan reached into his storage ring and took out a flower. The moment it appeared, he held it up and said calmly, Just take one look. Su Miaoji turned around, and the instant her eyes landed on the flower, her entire body froze. She gasped sharply. This is a blood flame flower? At the same time, Patriarch Su rushed forward. The moment he saw the flower clearly, his eyes widened in shock. It really is a blood flame flower. With this, the cold energy in my daughter's body can be suppressed. Miaoji is finally saved. Yi Fan stood tall, confidence overflowing. He knew he had already won. Patriarch Su grabbed Yi Fan's hand tightly. Yi Fan, ask for whatever you want. My Su family will pay any price to obtain this blood flame flower. Yi Fan smiled faintly. I originally planned to give this blood flame flower to Miaoji as a surprise on our wedding night. But now it seems the Su family prefers spirit stones. Patriarch Su nodded without hesitation. I understand. I agree to your proposal. Wait. Before he could finish, Lin Bei stepped forward and interrupted him. He pointed straight at Yi Fan. A surprise for the wedding night? By giving her the blood flame flower, are you trying to kill Miss Su? Yi Fan sneered. Don't pretend to be an expert when you're ignorant. The blood flame flower is indeed poison to ordinary people, but it can suppress the cold energy within Miaoji's body. Even if you pile spirit stones into a mountain, you still can't cure a cold physique. I, however, can save her life. What do you have to compete with me? Su Miaoji walked closer to Lin Bei and said softly, Yifan is right. Without the blood flame flower, I would die at the age of 22 once the cold energy loses control. Yifan looked at Lin Bei mockingly. Do you understand now? Inside, he sneered coldly. You can't buy a heavenly treasure like the blood flame flower no matter how many spirit stones you have. I'd like to see how Lin Bei plans to steal my woman. Lin Bei stared at the flower for a moment, then spoke calmly. It's true that the blood flame flower can suppress a cold physique. However, its yang poison cannot neutralize the cold energy. It only suppresses it temporarily. Both forces will continue to erode the body. The person may live, but their body will be practically ruined. When that time comes, forget cultivation. Holding a sword will already be a luxury. Su Miaoji's eyes widened in shock. I can't cultivate? Am I destined to be severed from the sword Dao forever? She looked down at her own hands, trembling. If I can never hold a sword again for the rest of my life, then I'd rather not live this life at all. Patriarch Su hurried to her side, panic in his voice. My daughter, don't. Father has already lost your mother. I absolutely cannot lose you too. Yifan placed a hand gently on Su Miaoji's shoulder. Miaoji, your father is right. Surviving is more important than anything. Even if you lose your cultivation, I will protect you. But deep inside, Yifan was smiling like a demon. Lose her cultivation? Isn't that even better? That way, she'll be a perfect cauldron. Ha ha. Reluctantly, Su Miaoji lowered her head. I agree. At that moment, Lin Bei suddenly stepped forward and snatched the flower from Yifan's hand. He examined it calmly and said, You say she'll live just because you say so? Miss Su doesn't have an ordinary cold physique. She has a congenital cold physique. Patriarch Su nodded quickly. That's right. My daughter is indeed born with a congenital cold physique. Is there a problem? Yifan snatched the flower back, roaring angrily. Stop trying to sow discord. I have the blood flame flower. What do you have? Can spirit stones save people? Lin Bei placed his broken sword on the table. Then he spread his hands calmly. The medicinal effect of the blood flame flower can only suppress a standard cold physique. With a congenital cold physique, it won't take long before the yang poison is completely exhausted. When the cold energy backlashes, she will only die a more miserable death. He continued evenly. To suppress a congenital cold physique using the blood flame flower, one would need to consume one roughly every half year. Brother, you speak so logically. Surely you've already prepared enough for the long term, right? Shut your mouth. Yifan shouted. Inside, panic exploded. Damn it. I really didn't think of that. I'll just bluff my way through this. I'll destroy the Lin family later. Lin Bei tilted his head slightly. Don't tell me. Brother, you actually didn't know. This concerns life and death. There's no room for carelessness. Yifan pointed at Lin Bei furiously. You. A piece of trash who does nothing but eat and sleep dares to lecture me? If you're so capable, then you save Su Miaoji. Let's see what kind of spirit medicine you can come up with. Lin Bei nodded without hesitation. To be able to save Miss Su, I couldn't ask for anything more. As for spirit medicine, he reached into his pocket calmly. I do have something I wish to give her. The moment his hand moved, a stream of blue spiritual energy began to spill out from his pocket. The moment Patriarch Su sensed that aura, his entire body stiffened in shock. This is exactly the same feeling as when Miaoji's cold physique erupts. Su Miaoji also turned toward Lin Bei, staring at him with wide eyes, her heart pounding. What is he about to take out? At the same time, Yifan was completely stunned. His mouth hung open as terror crept into his eyes. This stream of cold energy, it's horrifying. Then, Lin Bei calmly took out a treasure and held it up for everyone to see. This is a treasure I exchanged for using 10 types of supreme spirit medicines. Even treating a congenital cold physique is not a problem. Inside, Lin Bei was crying rivers. For the sake of curing your illness, just forgive me for telling a tiny lie. Everything is for the sake of saving my own life. He then handed the treasure to Su Miaoji and said lightly, After all, Miss Su is my close friend on the sword Dao. Su Miaoji stared at the treasure in her hand stunned. The cold energy inside my body, it's becoming much more docile. This is the first time I've ever felt like this. What kind of treasure did Lin Bei actually trade for? She looked up at him, moved. Lin Bei. I didn't expect you'd go to such lengths for our friendship as fellow Taoists. A bright smile bloomed on her face, her eyes shining with admiration. Such a broad mind. No wonder you were able to comprehend clear sword heart. Patriarch Su pressed a hand to his forehead. My foolish daughter, what kind of fellow Taoist risks his life to save someone like this? Even so, he was still deeply shaken. But what exactly did Lin Bei take out? Yi Fan stared hard at the treasure in Lin Bei's hand, then sneered, pointing at him. Spouting wild arrogance! You think you can talk big just because you pulled out some random treasure no one's ever heard of? Who knows if that thing is just good-looking but completely useless? Lin Bei clenched the treasure tightly in his fist. At the very least, it's more powerful than your blood flame flower. The moment he finished speaking, the energy from Lin Bei's treasure surged outward. It directly affected Yi Fan's blood flame flower. Its stem bent. Its flames dimmed. Its vitality rapidly drained. In front of Lin Bei's treasure, the blood flame flower looked utterly pathetic. When Yi Fan saw his withered flower, it felt like his soul left his body. My blood flame flower, actually withered? Damn it! Patriarch Su was left speechless, his mouth hanging open. Wait, this cold energy is far superior to a congenital cold physique. Could this be the extreme cold treasure, Ice Jade Marrow? Lin Bei lifted the treasure proudly. Correct. This is an extreme object, the treasure of the northern region, Ice Jade Marrow. Yi Fan clutched his withered flower, his eyes burning with hatred. This bastard ruined my plans again. And this Ice Jade Marrow, just its emitted cold energy can make a blood flame flower wither. I've never even heard of such an absurd treasure. Patriarch Su hesitated and asked. But is Ice Jade Marrow truly useful for a congenital cold physique? They're of the same origin, wouldn't it only worsen the condition? Lin Bei looked at the treasure calmly. If Ice Jade Marrow is given to someone with an ordinary cold physique, it's indeed no different from poison. Then he moved it closer to Su Miaoji. The cold energy surged even stronger. But for a congenital cold physique, Ice Jade Marrow allows the cold energy to be fully controlled. It solves the problem at its root, and can even enhance the talent of the congenital cold physique. Su Miaoji's eyes lit up with joy. Then, my cold energy will never erupt again. It can even strengthen my constitution and improve my cultivation. Lin Bei smiled on the surface. Inside, he was already calculating. As long as I repair Su Miaoji's constitution, I'll gain an incomparably thick thigh to cling to for survival in the future. Isn't this much easier than cultivating on my own? Patriarch Su took a deep breath. Lin Bei, can this Ice Jade Marrow be transferred to the Su family? I'll give you however many spirit stones you want. Lin Bei smiled faintly and closed his eyes. A supreme treasure of this level cannot be bought with spirit stones. Moreover, in terms of rank, my Ice Jade Marrow is a full 3 ranks higher than Yi Fan's blood flame flower. I understand, Patriarch Su said quietly. He clenched his fist tightly. Spirit stones. Heavenly treasures. He's put in so much effort, there's only one thing he wants. Then, in a serious yet oddly casual tone, he declared, I give my consent for you to marry my daughter. The moment Lin Bei heard that, he froze. His eyes went blank. His mouth fell open. He almost started drooling as lightning seemed to crack around him and sweat poured down his back. Inside, he screamed, No! I only wanted to win over the Su family, and use them as a survival trump card. How did this turn into marrying Su Miaoji? On the other side, Su Miaoji blushed furiously, waving her hands. Dad! What nonsense are you talking about? He and I are purely friends. Yet deep inside, her heart raced. Marriage? With Lin Bei? This is way too fast. At least start as boyfriend and girlfriend. This part begins as Fan steps forward. He raises his voice and says, Wait. I disagree with this. Then he turns toward Patriarch Su and speaks firmly. Uncle Su, I was the one who came first. I was the one who proposed to Miaoji first. Isn't this inappropriate? Is it really right for you to treat me like this? As he speaks, he casts a sideways, hostile glance at Lin Bei. Besides, Fan continues coldly, saying that the Ice Jade Marrow can cure Miaoji is just Lin Bai's one-sided story. There are real, proven cases of the blood flame flower curing cold physiques. Hearing this, Lin Bei replies calmly. You proposed your marriage. I gave my gift. We have nothing to do with each other. Then Lin Bei turns to Miaoji and says seriously. It's just that I, Lin Bei, cannot do something as despicable as using spirit medicine to threaten Miss Su into marriage. With that, he clicks the system interface. In an instant, a large number of Ice Jade Marrow appears in front of everyone. As long as Miss Su can be cured, Lin Bei says firmly, I am willing to pay however much Ice Jade Marrow is needed. Moreover, I will supply it for free. Seeing such an overwhelming amount of Ice Jade Marrow, Miaoji hesitates. She lowers her gaze, her heart in turmoil. This is far too valuable. She murmurs inwardly. Deep inside, she thinks, if Lin Bei favors me this much, I'll have no choice left. I'll be forced to marry him. On the other side, flames of anger ignite inside Fan. His expression twists as he roars at Patriarch Su. So this is what you mean, handing Miaoji over to Lin Bei. Patriarch Su sighs and replies, since my daughter has chosen Lin Bei as her father, I cannot ignore her wishes. Fan laughs bitterly. Good. Very good. What an arrogant display, hiding behind righteousness. Now I finally understand the Su family's true meaning. He turns to leave, but stops in front of Miaoji. Staring at her, he says coldly, how did I not see your true colors before? I didn't even accept the spirit stones and treasures you returned. At that moment, Lin Bei steps forward and shields Miaoji. That's interesting, Lin Bei says sharply. So it's only right if Miaoji accepts your blood flame flower, suffers pain every day, and becomes unable to cultivate? I don't care what you're planning, but fellow Taoist Su will not become a victim of a marriage alliance game. Fan bursts into laughter. What a pair of dogs. So this is how the Su family threatens others. He waves his sleeve. Farewell. As he leaves, he grinds his teeth in rage, thinking, destroying the Lin family will require further planning. Lin Bei, for daring to make a move on my woman, you've already been marked for death. After Fan departs, the system speaks to Lin Bei, congratulating him on completing the mission. As a reward, he receives 2,000 destiny points. However, the protagonist knows the crisis is not fully over. He frowns slightly and thinks, although this crisis is resolved, why do I feel that Fan's hostility toward me has grown even stronger? Just then, a new mission appears from the system. Mission objective: the Child of Destiny harbors hatred toward you. Please interfere with the Child of Destiny's new opportunity and stop him from growing stronger. Mission reward: 3,000 destiny points. Failure penalty: the Lin family and the Su family will be completely wiped out by the Child of Destiny himself. Instead of fear, a smile spreads across the protagonist's face. Still an opportunity. A great chance, he thinks. Finally, it's my turn to counterattack. He turns to Patriarch Su and says, there are some matters I'd like to discuss with you. I wonder if it's convenient. Patriarch Su nods. All right. Miaoji then prepares to leave. After she exits, Patriarch Su suddenly grabs Lin Bai's hand. His eyes sparkle with excitement as he says happily, virtuous son-in-law, I agree to the matter between you and Miaoji. Please treat her well in the future. The protagonist panics slightly. Why are you calling me son-in-law? Patriarch Su, you misunderstand. I only wanted to discuss an alliance between the Su family and the Lin family. Hearing this, Patriarch Su becomes awkward. An alliance? At that moment, the protagonist takes out a spirit card and lays down a pile of treasures. Miss Su's innocence was completely ruined. Obviously, the Yi family was operating behind the scenes, he says coldly. Are you really going to swallow this anger? From my perspective, it's better to strike first. The Lin family and the Su family should join hands and destroy the Yi family together. He extends his hand. Regardless of discussion or failure, my intention to cure fellow Taoist Su's cold physique remains unchanged. Patriarch Su turns serious. But the Yi family's strength ranks among the 4 great families. Even if the Lin and Su families unite, the advantage isn't obvious. If both sides are injured, a third party might reap the benefits. The protagonist remains calm. He takes out another speed card and says casually, who said I'm going to fight the Yi family to the death? What my Lin family lacks the least is spirit stones. I can crush the Yi family to death just by throwing spirit stones at them. He turns to leave and says over his shoulder, Patriarch Su, think it over carefully. The Lin family awaits your good news. As he walks away, Patriarch Su murmurs in awe. The younger generation is truly to be feared. After that, we see Fan stepping out of the Su family residence. His expression is dark, his anger barely contained. The Su family patriarch and his daughter don't even know what's good for them. He mutters coldly. That bastard Lin Bei, he feels like a completely different person. He lowers his gaze to the ring on his finger. Inside it resides the soul of his master. Fan speaks in a low voice, filled with unease. Teacher, don't you think something feels wrong? I have a bad feeling. His master's calm voice responds. I didn't discover anything unusual. We can basically rule out the possibility of a powerful soul possessing him. Fan clenches his fist. That man is interfering between me and Miaoji. He's completely ruining my future plans. And how did he suddenly get so many spirit stones? Enough to casually hand them to the Su family. It worries me. His master replies slowly. Strength is the foundation of everything. Fan, do you remember what I told you? There will be an auction in Fengqi City soon. You must obtain that item first. It concerns your hope of becoming a great emperor. The moment Fan hears this, his eyes light up. "Thank you, teacher," he says eagerly. Inside, his thoughts turn vicious. So what if you have a lot of spirit stones? Just wait. When I awaken my absolute inheritance, I'll crush you completely. Lin Bei, I want you kneeling before me, again and again. The scene shifts. We arrive at the Lin family residence. The protagonist is sitting comfortably in his chair, staring at the system interface. "What exactly did you mean by Fan's opportunity?" he asks calmly. The system responds, "The opportunity event will occur tomorrow. A specific location is required." The moment he hears this, the protagonist becomes excited. "Then what are you waiting for? Predict it. Tell me the location." The system requests a certain number of destiny points. Without hesitation, the protagonist agrees. Soon, the system reveals the result. Location, Fengchi City. An auction will be held there, the very same one Fan's master mentioned. A vision appears. The auction scene unfolds before his eyes. An item is placed on the stage, bids rise rapidly, and Fan is shown participating. Finally, the announcer declares that Fan wins the auction. Seeing this, the protagonist is slightly surprised. Now he fully understands where Fan's opportunity lies, at the Fengchi City auction. He relaxes and smiles. "I don't even need to move. I can flip the entire board while lying down." An auction, after all, is nothing more than money. And money? That's something he has in absurd amounts. He takes out stacks of spirit stone cards. "When it comes to wealth, I don't fear any so-called child of destiny." Then his expression turns thoughtful. "But what exactly is the secret of that page?" The system answers immediately. "To unlock the effect and usage method of the wordless page, 5,000 destiny points are required. Fan will eventually comprehend it and become a profound sage." The protagonist is completely stunned. A profound sage, a holy grade craft? His eyes sharpen. "I must get this. Otherwise, what's the point of living?" He quickly becomes serious again. "No, even 300 million spirit stones might not be enough. I need more." Without hesitation, he orders the system to activate a 10-pull gacha, leaving only 100 destiny points behind. Even so, he can't help feeling anxious. What if he gets nothing useful? In desperation, he drops to his knees before the system and shouts loudly, "Come out!" In the next instant, a flood of treasures erupts from the system, spirit stones included, doubled in quantity. The protagonist looks upward. Every treasure glows brilliantly. Rewards continue pouring in as the system announces, "Congratulations!" He receives 100 million spirit stones, along with several other rewards. Most are common, but one stands above the rest. Legendary, Phoenix Divine Blood. All legendary items are transferred into his inventory. The protagonist's eyes shine with excitement. "This Sun Yuan sword, it's terrifying," he murmurs. He picks up the sword and inspects it carefully. A 9th rank profound artifact, capable of unleashing double attacks. He gives it a test swing. The moment the blade cuts through the air, 2 slashing arcs explode outward, causing a loud blast inside the residence. Immediately, his father's furious roar echoes through the halls. Hearing that angry voice, the protagonist freezes, instantly calming himself down. He then turns back to the system, admiring the sword. The Sun Yuan sword is insanely sharp. He continues checking his rewards and discovers another item, Onyx Divine Blood. The moment he takes it out, a blinding light radiates from the small bottle. The system explains, "This is Phoenix Divine Blood, derived from a divine beast phoenix. Anyone who uses it will obtain a small amount of phoenix bloodline." Hearing this, the protagonist stares intently at the tiny vial in his hand, the Phoenix Divine Blood glowing softly within it. The system then explains to the protagonist, "Furthermore, the Nirvana secret fire can only be mastered by those with the Phoenix bloodline." The protagonist suddenly understands. The Nirvana secret fire, rebirth from the ashes. But I already possess the Nirvana Sutra. That means this isn't very useful to me, right? The system responds calmly. The Nirvana secret fire allows the host to be reborn through Nirvana. After every rebirth, the host's strength and the power of the secret fire will increase. However, the Nirvana secret fire cannot be used continuously. Hearing this, the protagonist's eyes light up. Wait. The Nirvana Sutra allows me to revive as long as my spiritual energy is sufficient. And the Nirvana secret fire increases my strength after every rebirth. He pauses, then grins. In other words, with the Nirvana Sutra, I can revive endlessly, and grow stronger every single time. That's basically like being a cockroach that refuses to die. Without overthinking it, he drinks the Phoenix Divine Blood. The moment it enters his mouth, flames burst out. The taste is incredibly spicy, making him cough fire, but the next instant, blazing flames erupt from within his body. Fire engulfs him completely, wrapping around him from head to toe. It feels as though he is being burned alive. The system announces, Phoenix Bloodline Awakening in progress. The protagonist notices flames spreading around the room itself. But he forces himself to calm down as the system continues. Progress is stable. Awakening is successful. Current completion, 10%. At the same time, his spiritual energy increases by +10. Moments later, the protagonist is completely stunned. He has successfully awakened the Phoenix Bloodline. The speed at which I'm absorbing spiritual energy is more than 10 times faster than before. He mutters in disbelief. To think the bloodline had such a terrifying benefit. Next, he takes the useless treasures he obtained earlier and feeds them into the system's gacha synthesis function, exploiting its mechanics. As the synthesis completes, the protagonist almost cries. This is just combining, he complains. At best, the system lets me duplicate things. The system informs him. The bottle has been synthesized, quantity increased from 1 to 3. The item's name appears, Super True Spirit Pill, nothing particularly valuable. He opens one bottle and swallows the pill. The moment he consumes it, his heartbeat accelerates violently. But soon, the sensation stabilizes, and he calmly observes his strengthened energy. Then, he takes out the Sun Yuan sword. His spiritual energy begins to materialize around the blade. He lightly swings the sword, sending a gentle slash toward the 3 bottles. This is a power test. After all, he has just broken through to the profound master real arm realm. Judging from the speed of his breakthrough alone, he can confidently say, he isn't just a genius. He's a genius beyond geniuses. Just then, a servant rushes in and reports. Young master, members of the Su family have come to visit. The protagonist is slightly surprised. He didn't expect them to arrive so quickly. Leaving behind his half-destroyed room, he heads out to meet the Su family. As he leaves, the 3 bottles behind him crumble completely into ashes. The scene shifts. We see members of the Su family sitting together with Lin Bei's father. Nearby, Miaoji is calmly pouring tea into cups. The protagonist arrives and says to Patriarch Su, You made your decision rather quickly. Miaoji answers before her father can speak. Brother Lin, the Su family is ready to cooperate with the Lin family. Together, we will defeat the Yi family. They have already crossed the line. Hearing this, the protagonist smiles. The Yi family nearly caused me to lose my life and plotted to ruin your innocence. The relationship between the 3 families is already beyond repair. His eyes turn cold. It's time to strike first. He then looks toward the system and asks, System, I don't want to always stay passive. Is there any way to completely eliminate the threat of the Child of Destiny? The system responds with a long announcement, Core Mission issued. Mission objective, the Child of Destiny can be eliminated after their destiny points drop below 1,000. Mission requirement, the host must continue completing missions to reduce the Child of Destiny's destiny points. Current destiny points, 47,000. Completion reward, completely resolve the Child of Destiny threat. Failure penalty, reduced to a villain role. Killed by the Child of Destiny. After hearing this, the protagonist turns to Patriarch Su and Miaoji. Dealing with the Yi family can't be rushed. Our first step will be targeting the Yi family's assets in the city. Patriarch Su frowns slightly. Shouldn't we strike first and control the core members of the Yi family? The protagonist shakes his head. No. Our advantage has never been martial force. He smiles faintly. It's overwhelming spirit stones. The children of destiny always manage to explode in power at the last moment, turning the tables while shouting about friendship and justice. We absolutely cannot confront them head-on. As he speaks, the protagonist clenches his teeth tightly, his killing intent silently surging. The protagonist then speaks calmly. We must give the Yi family the illusion that they can escape at any time. Only then will they stop fighting us desperately. Miaoji's eyes light up. She smiles and says, Like boiling a frog in warm water. The protagonist smiles back and nods in agreement. Hearing this, Patriarch Su is completely stunned. I thought the Lin family wanted to eliminate the Yi family in one decisive strike, he thinks. I never expected Lin Bei to have already calculated every single step. If they oppose him, I'm afraid the Yi family won't even know how they died in the end. Fortunately, he continues inwardly, my Su family's relationship with Lin Bei is quite good. Perhaps, this is the Su family's greatest opportunity. Miaoji then asks with concern. But the Yi family has many businesses in Fengqi City. What if they react quickly and transfer their shops? The protagonist casually takes out a spirit card and says, Very simple. Just control the market supply. I have enough spirit stones to directly cover all material circulation. If we do only this much, the Yi family won't dare to transfer their assets so easily. His gaze sharpens. In 3 months, I want the Yi family's businesses to completely disappear from Fengqi City. He then hands several spirit stone cards to his father. Dad, I'll leave the acquisition of materials to you. His father takes the cards and nods firmly. All right. I'll definitely get it done. The scene shifts to Fengqi City's marketplace. The streets are bustling, crowded, and full of noise. At this moment, Fan walks toward a shop and asks his teacher. Teacher, is this the mutated spirit medicine you sensed? His master appears as a small soul projection and replies. That Anchorstone wine is a mutated spirit medicine. With it, your breakthrough to the 6th level of the Profound Master realm will be practically guaranteed. He then points at a green-colored medicine placed in the center of the shop. It seems the people here don't realize what they're holding. This is a mutated spirit medicine, at least 10 times stronger. It can easily purge impurities from the body. You must obtain it as soon as possible. Fan feels delighted inside. With teacher's help, I'll definitely break through to the profound spirit realm soon, he thinks. His ambition surges. The strongest combat power among the 3 great families in Fengqi City is only at the peak of the profound master realm. When the time comes, I'll make the Lin and Su families pay the price. His eyes turn cold. Lin Bei. I'll make you die a miserable death. Then his thoughts drift to Miaoji, dark and twisted. That woman dared to betray me. She doesn't even care about her cultivation base. I'll make her cry and beg me, then cripple her meridians bit by bit. Just as his thoughts spiral, his master snaps at him. Why are you spacing out like an idiot? Do you want someone else to buy it first? I'm talking about the medicine. Fan jolts back to his senses. All right, teacher. I'll buy it right now. He steps into the shop, but suddenly notices several people inside. From their clothing, he immediately recognizes them. Lin family members? What are they doing here? Confused, but not thinking too deeply, Fan walks straight to the shopkeeper and asks, What's the price of this old wine? We see that the shopkeeper is already holding a spirit card from the Lin family. He smiles politely and says, Honored guest, you're too late. This medicinal material has already become the property of the Lin family. Fan turns toward the Lin family members, his face darkening. Damn it! Lin Bei isn't even here, yet he's still snatching my things. His master quickly points to a red spirit fruit and says, Fan, now is not the time to tear off masks with the Lin family. Buying the red spirit fruit instead is also acceptable, Fan asks impatiently. Then what's the price of this spirit fruit? The shopkeeper replies without hesitation. Sorry. This spirit fruit also belongs to the Lin family. The moment Fan hears this, he freezes, completely stunned. Even his master is shocked. Just then, a Lin family member walks over, says, Excuse me, and reaches for the fruit. Fan explodes with rage. He grabs the man's wrist and snarls. I think you're deliberately looking for trouble today. The Lin family can't take this spirit medicine away. I said so. He sneers and pulls out his spirit card. It's just spirit stones. How many is the Lin family paying? I'll offer 10 times more. At this moment, the shopkeeper raises 3 fingers. Fan scoffs. 300 spirit stones? He immediately takes out a pile of stones. Fine. I'll pay 3,000 spirit stones. The shopkeeper scratches his head awkwardly and says, Not 300,000 spirit stones. The instant Fan hears that the Lin family has bought all the treasures for 300,000 spirit stones, his body goes stiff, like a statue. Complete shock. Boom. And with that, the chapter comes to an end. When the next chapters arrive, the next part of the story will continue. Until then, bye. We'll meet again in another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please leave a nice comment in the comment box. Bye.